Everyone, last series of the day here, another elimination round. Two incredible teams so far. Trust the Process versus Hamsters and Hares. Loser knocked out of the tournament.
Yeah, so I mean, earlier today, we were sitting down and kind of just talking about the teams and talking about compositions. And D-Machine, you mentioned that Trust the Process. They didn't want any part of Warrior Mage. They thought that was the hardest composition for them. They thought that was even harder than Windwalker Death Knight. Maybe they've changed their mind about that, but I think Hamsters and Hares, they have the right idea with this one. But Trust the Process, keep in mind, they are really good in these type of matchups. They're the team that sent Method NA down to the lower bracket, so you cannot count them out. This is a very skilled team, and let's see how they decide to open. Calvish is going to be sitting in stealth right now. Format trying to get combat, looking for the rogue with flame strikes, just keeping Zayuni in combat. And it looks like it will be a kidney shot on the paladin.
Oh,
Format or Roasty's just going to be line of sighting. They're going after Format right now. Roasty's really good line of sight there, able to potentially protect Format if he can, but he doesn't look like he's. He actually managed to do it. So Format really didn't have to use anything. Now getting aggressive here on Nuked. And that opener really came down to Roasties just having great positioning, getting the intervene off, and then the rallying cry, and that denied Trust the Process from getting any offensive cooldowns out.
that's unreal. That was a killer opener. I thought Format was for sure going to get cauterized. There we go. The kidney, the cross CC, the blind. Is Format going to have to use something? He gets dangerously close. Cauterized, still not having to proc, as that is the sacrifice from Zach. They hold on to that for another day. Great job by the team of Hamsters and Hares, but now the onslaught is going to swap over on to Trust the Process. Hodge on to Zuni. What do they have to follow it up? Looks like no one's taking damage just yet, as the rogue is in stealth, looking for another go yet again. Nuke down to half as Roasties continues to just pump the damage into him, and Format forced into a block out of nowhere with a polymorph. This RMP is looking super strong right now. Double Dragon's Breath, and Format is on hypothermia. No block available. Cauterize still available, but no sack. And I think the next go could easily force that Cauterize with this momentum this RMP's made.
Yeah, clean setup so far. Nice mana management as well from Zayuni. Still above 50% at this point, over halfway through the cooldowns. If they can keep this up, I certainly think that it's possible for them to take game number one. Right now, Nuked on the back foot, though, taking a beating from Roasties. There comes the triple stun, full polymorph lands. Are they going to be able to trade in time? This is an immense amount of pressure on the floor mat. Cauterize triggers, he's still low. Zach Divine shields, trying to power Format back into the game, but another perfect setup nets two major cooldowns. One major cooldown away from victory. We see a pre-barrier dropped here, maybe just for mana efficiency, onto Nuked during that Storm Bolt, and Calvish is in stealth, just waiting to start the... He's got Smoke Bomb! They could drop a kidney Smoke Bomb! He edges the bomb! Nice edge on the Smoke Bomb! Beautiful play here! They're gonna proc the Wild Seed! Trust the Process, Shadow steps over for a cheap shot, the Wild Seed goes down!
Nuts.
Beautiful.
Trust the Process clean, game one.
That was beautiful. I mean, this is what you want to see from an RMP. They go in, clinical crowd control, just really executing, making sure everyone is controlled. Not the best opener for them, but from that point forward, it just felt like this was all their game to lose. And I mean, this is why this team has, they made it into the top six, and they're definitely here to play. This is going to be a really difficult matchup here for Hamsters and Hares. If this is the matchup that they wanted, I feel like Trust the Process. They look very comfortable in this one.
Absolutely, man. After watching that 3-0 against OTK, it's got to be a feels bad, but that was a hell of a game one. Really impressive stuff. And if you make it to broadcast, I think it's important that everyone in chat understands if you make it to top 8 broadcast, you're already a top player in North America, in my mind. It is so hard to make top 8 over and over and over again, like all these teams do. And this is a brand new team. They're making top 8 and they're making waves. That was a crazy game. And this is Hamsters and Hares. We know we know Zach, we know Roasties. These are household names for a WoW nerd. And they just took game one like it was nothing. I mean, the defensive cooldowns on the opposite end, they just didn't even feel that pressured.
Man, first weekend on the desk, D-Machine's calling us some nerds. I don't know how I feel about that one.
I'm just calling it out. It is, real recognizes real. Know what I'm saying? Everybody's in there.
Yeah, I got you. No, but you're absolutely right. Got to give credit where credit is due. You know, the first time we saw them play on this broadcast earlier today, Trust the Process, it was a difficult series for them, but here they are clearly bouncing back for game number 1. And you're absolutely right. Hamsters and Hares, difficult team in their own right to face up against, but 1-0 right now in this best of 5 series. And now I just wonder how the rest of this series is going to go. Do we feel like do we feel like Trust the Process has the potential to 3-0 against Hamsters and Hares? Is this a better matchup for them?
I think Hamsters and Hares should just play a cleave comp, if anything, and get Valido. I'm pretty sure, right? Valido on this roster.
Yep.
They could run another cleave setup, Death Knight Warrior. Zach is really, I think we're only going to see Paladin from him. I feel like it'd be more comfy if he had a Shaman pick, specifically into Rogue Mage, but if they try the Warrior Mage again and it doesn't work, then they do have cleaves to fall back on. Maybe this Unholy? Would Unholy be too bad? Just run the priest out of mana? I mean, it doesn't. I feel like it almost at that point wouldn't matter if you pick Frost or Unholy, but I think utilizing a Death Knight specifically into a Discipline Priest, when you know that Discipline Priest is the only thing coming your way, would be a wise move.
Mm-hmm. And this team, Hamsters and Hares, if they're able to fend them off for a while, then is this team just going to kind of fall apart deep into dampening Trust the Process?
Well, that's the one downside of having Discipline Priest, right? Is theoretically you should always, you're probably always going to lose on mana against a Paladin, against a Shaman. The only time that really doesn't happen is if the other team isn't putting out a lot of pressure. If you can just kind of like passively heal with your powered shields and your damage turning into healing, then that's great. But it's when you have to start shadow mending a lot, you have to start using your radiance a lot. That's when the Discipline Priest is just burning through mana as fast as you can possibly see. But in a matchup like this, I feel like Zayuni is going to be able to hold on for quite some time. But I don't think they want to play the long game. I think Trust the Process, they just want to push the pace. They want to get the crowd control. They want to force Floormat into these unideal situations where he's caught in stuns, can't really help out Zach. And Roasties really has to be a playmaker here. He has to deny the crowd control from Nuked and make sure that he's getting those intervenes onto Floormat to really help him out. And I feel like if Roasties is really on point, this is definitely a matchup that they can come back in.
Yeah, we're going to see going into game number 2 if they're able to tie it up here. Hamsters and Hares going to be locking in that same composition. Going to a small map as well. Subati is on Hook Point. How are we going to see this team utilize this composition with the combination of Hook Point?
It's weird that Hamsters and Hares are the ones that picked. I mean, the fallback strat against Priest is just run them out of mana. So going Hook Point opens the table for Trust the Process to make swaps. I feel like they could go after Zach as well. I think they could really kill any target. And the main advantage of the Subtlety Rogue is that you can stun 3 targets. So you remove the intervene from the Warrior. Whereas we saw when Peekaboo was running Rogue into this composition as Assassination, it was really tough to get the Warrior out of the fight at the same time. And all it takes is intervene. Intervene could just completely stop your setup. So with the Subtlety Rogue, they get that as an advantage. I'm honestly not a fan of the map pick. I think the map pick is bad for the Warrior Mage Paladin.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry to say, did I miss that team logo the whole day? Is that new?
Yeah, dude.
Like
no,
yeah,
man.
Isn't it great?
All day. You think it's awesome?
It's been there all day? How did I
All
just
day.
notice it? What's going on? That thing's amazing.
You're focused on the casting. It's all good.
Yeah, true. Just focused on the games, Let's see
Just
how
doing
this
your
one
job.
goes. Take a little gander at the opening here. Mr. Calvish going to be sitting in stealth. And let's see who they decide to open on. I like these 3v1s they set up. If Calvish can get stuns on everyone, they can set it up really, really nicely. Zayuni can go for mind controls on Roasty. Zach's going to get caught in the polymorph. Floormat blinking back immediately. Nuked looking for a polymorph. Can he find it? Looks like he will be able to fire blast it off. He fakes out the Overwatch reflect. Nicely done. Cheap shot now on Roasty. Actually just going after Roasty. Roasty's might get smoked. Looks like Zach forced a trade. And Floormat, he positioned so defensively there, but he left Roasties behind, and they capitalized on that big.
Pretty sure we just broke every headphone user's headphones in that go, but I mean, it was worth it. I thought he was dead for sure. That's a big win for Trust the Process opener. I thought it was botched at first, but they got Trinket, they got Sack, they got died by the sword. Oh, here we go. Kidney in the bomb. Is there any more damage to follow it up onto Roasty? Zach trying to get in position, but the blind hits. Ooh,
Poly on the Trinket.
Poly. Oh, but the but the poly is gonna land. Is this gonna be it for Roasties? It looks like they're gonna swap the damage over onto Floormat. but I thought for sure Rosty's gonna go down here. Swapping over onto the rogue Calvish now. And it looks like he's okay. He's in the dome. He's gonna be fine. And I'm just waiting for the next go from Trust the Process. I'm looking at the mana bar of the Priest, and I'm waiting for the next go, because that's what I identify as the win conditions for either team.
Mind control on the Warrior. Nice triple crowd control. Pulling Roasties out of line of sight. Oh, he Blade Storms the stun. Nice Blade Storm. Roasties was dead there. He might still just be dead. Divine Shield from Zach. Is that enough here? Roasties is so low. He's dual. He fears up the Rogue. Meteor can still hit him in the Shadowy Duel. He's rotted down. He's got Rally, but he's holding on to it. Man, that mind control behind the pillar from Zayuni, I thought for sure Roasties is dead. Sick. If they do that again, I don't think Roasties makes it out alive here. Charging back to Nuked in line of sight of Zach. Does not want to make that same mistake with the mind control. They bait out a banner, trying to kill off the banner. Calvish is looking for a re-stealth. Maybe Zayuni should try and drink. Flame Strike going to snipe Zayuni there from floor mat, preventing the drink. Calvish is still trying to re-stealth. Manages to find it. Nuked is just tanking the entire team out there by himself. Now Calvish is moving in. Double Dragon's Breath. Triple crowd control. Who are they going for? It looks like Roasty's big pre-parries. I don't think there's any way they kill him through Die by the Sword, right? It's not worth it to try and go through that. Nice play by Roasties again, anticipating the attack here. Stormbolt on Calvish, but pre-feint denies a lot of damage. Zayuni and a Polymorph, both teammates in trouble. Is Calvish going to be able to hold on? I swear, he just doesn't use evasion sometimes. I'm just thinking, like,
not bound.
Is he playing efficiently, or is it actually not bound sometimes with how low he gets here? They're moving in. They're getting on top of Zach. Oh, but Blinding Light catches Zayuni first. Calvish vanishes for a kidney shot, setting up the team here. Ring of Frost around the corner. Zach pre-bops it, dodges the Ring of Frost, but now he's pinned in the Ring of Frost. Caught in the poly. Pre-sacrifices the poly. Clutch decision-making from Zach there. Hamsters and Hares just need to stay alive a little bit longer. That mana bar is running thin.
Yeah, I mean, Trust the Process. They're trying to survive the Stormbolt and the stun on Zayuni. Calvish in some trouble. There comes the evasion. Definitely has it bound, but he might just get crushed anyways. Cloak of Shadows evasion, everything in desperation. Manages to hold on, but Zayuni's mana is not looking good in this situation. There is some cooldowns left, but at this point, Hamsters and Hares, it seems like they are stable enough. Potentially, Roasties, he's not going to mess around. Blessing of Protection trades out by Zach. That was his trinket as well. They want to push the pace. They realize they have Trust the Process on the ropes. They can continue to make an offensive push here, and I feel like as long as they stay on top of Calvish and they protect Zach from getting crowd control, they're still in this. And I mean, Format has all his defensive cooldowns. Roasty's looking good too. He's got the dive of the sword. Calvish in 3 versus 1 situation. Interrupt on Nuked. Polymorph on Zayuni. Calvish just running around the pillar, trying desperately to survive. So he will be able to at this point. Shadow stepping over to Zach, getting the kidney shot. Are they just going after Zach? It looks like the smoke bomb will drop out, but there's really not that much damage. Combustion comes in at the last second, but it is not enough, and it looks like Zach will be able to hold on. Kleptomania Spellsteal coming in on Nuke from floor mat. That removes that damage, and now it's going to be Calvish, who is in a lot of trouble here.
Dude, full Polymorph land. Stormbolt on the Calvish. He gets out of it. He's trying to get aggressive with his blade onto Zach, but I don't know if he knows this, but Paladins wear plate, and I don't think he's going to take a whole lot of damage. He is on the back foot. Calvish has got to be scared. But Nuke constantly just trying to polymorph Roasties and get this warrior off of his rogue. Here we go. They're setting up onto format. Polymorph lands onto Zach. Kidney on the format. He does not have that block available to him. The fear to follow it up, but it's DR onto Zach. And I can't help but feel like they're going to live through this. And Trust the Process, they are running out of time. I love that she's just shoving the dome and shoving her cooldowns because she knows in late game it is not her win condition. And they need to make something happen. Oh, but he gets a re-stealth. So clutch, so important. And in 6 seconds, he will have that evasion back to deal with Roasties.
Oh, Meteor on floor mat. Big setup. Is Zach ready? Popping in some big heals here. Stabilizing floor mat, but now caught in a polymorph, but they can stay on target with that Spear Bastion on Calvish. Is Calvish going to be able to survive the onslaught? Roasties dropping that Warbreaker. Calvish shadow steps away, but charge reconnects. Calvish at 30%. Very limited mana left here. They have to use evasion. There's no mana left in the tank. They need a huge swing of damage. They're going to drop the dome, try and reduce the damage here, but there's no mana. So he's just waiting for penance to come off cooldown to press. Nothing else really left. They might go in for a fear. They fear they need to get a kill off of this. Do they have enough to do it? Zach just totally blocks it, and Calvish gets closed out by Roasties. Solid defense, I must say, here from Roasties, not getting caught off guard at all in this game. There was lots of times where I was thinking that he's just outright dead, but definitely played very well here in game number 2, tying it up 1-1.
I think a lot of this game comes down to the fact that they got so much from Roasties in the early game. I feel like it kind of baited them into this false sense of how offensive they could be on the Warrior, because normally the Warrior is not the one that is going to fall in this matchup. It is going to be floor mat, and so many of their goes were forced onto the Warrior as a result, and I feel like that kind of plays into the strength of Hamsters and Hares, and it kept Trust the Process kind of on the back foot, where they were really struggling to find effective goes in the matchup. Calvish just barely holding on, running away, shadow stepping for his life, but eventually it just comes down to Zayuni, no mana left, Rapture not available, and Hamsters and Hares kind of get to their win condition where the Priest is out of mana, and Calvish has no defensive cooldowns, and although he's been able to run and hide a lot in this matchup, at this point, there's just nowhere he can really go, and Roasties is able to close it out. But very back and forth game. What I want to see here for the side of Hamsters and Hares is just keep up this solid defense. I like the way they were positioned. Format doing a great job in the opener, although it was really scary and Roasties went down incredibly low, going down to like 5% health at the beginning of the game. I just like the fact that they're splitting up and not making it easy for Calvish to actually get these double stun goes.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Pretty scary opener on the side of Trust the Process, but they were able to hold up and take that victory. We do have a tweet from Vanguard. Shout out to him. He's one of the observers today. Go ahead and follow him on Twitter. He said, representation isn't everything, but 50% of the North American top 8 played Warrior, Fire Mage, Holy Paladin this week are there, and that is their main composition. And those teams are listed there as well. So interesting stat. So thank you, Sam, for that. And also well done with your observing today.
Appreciate you, Sam
cool.
Guards.
Yeah. Always appreciate our observers for these tournaments.
What is that thing in Oribos behind David? Is that a heart?
Is that
Whoa, it's like a bunch of tables or something?
Oh.
It's animals, I think. Is it
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Something.
But we love you guys. Thanks for hanging out and watching the games, hanging out in Orbos. Maybe we'll do that. No, we won't. We probably shouldn't do that on our server. Oh, here we go. There you go, Super Tees. You've been asking for an elemental shaman.
Yeah, but not.
Oh, they took it away. Maybe it was broken.
Wait, not in this situation. Not. I don't want an LE shaman in this situation.
Maybe they're just trying to get some practice. They're like, yeah, we got this now. We're warmed up. We're fine. Let's swap it up.
Voluntarily locking in LE shaman into Rogue Mage Priest?
It's not that bad of a matchup.
Yeah, I got.
Okay, we'll see.
Wait,
Dude, I don't know.
It's that bad of a matchup? I don't think it is.
Roasties almost died in the opener. I feel like an elemental shaman maybe can position a little bit better to get the damage going. Can always knock the roto off of him, even when he's stunned. It could be good, but after an opener like that, when Roasties went down to like, I don't know, 0.5% health, I can't help but feeling Hamsters and Hares, they're taking this a little bit more serious against this RMP now.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't mind them mixing it up, kind of turning this map on its head. In this specific situation, let's see who they decide to go after. Big opener here onto floor mat. Valito just caught in crowd control. Really not going to be able to help out floor mat too much, but the damage just isn't there. And it looks like now the pressure will be reversed here onto Nuke. Polymorphed on Zayuni. Who are they going after? Hammer of Justice on Calvish. He's getting low. Warstomp comes in.
Oh!
Are they going to get the Cloak of Shadows? They get the Trinket. This is kind of a disaster. That was combustion from floor mat. They punished Calvish quite a bit for pushing in there. Now looking to get a go. Nuke pushing in. He gets wind sheared immediately. Beautiful wind shear there by Valito. That was immediate. And as a result, Zach's going to be able to cross the map. And like I said, so far this is a great start for Hamsters and Hares.
Dude, what was that? Hammer of Wrath into like a Torrent stun into a lasso? That was a deadly combo. This rogue is going to think twice about pushing in, moving forward in this matchup. Looks like the RMP's moving as a team here. There's the stun on Valito, and he actually just, whoa, he still might die. He has the wall, and he just goes down.
Okay. Let me hear it again. I
gotta see the replay, you know.
Let me hear it again.
Exactly. We're gonna see.
I didn't see exactly what happened.
Ellie's pretty good into Rogue.
Oh.
I think that, I'm gonna be honest, I think that composition is not bad in a Rogue Mage. And Super Tees, let me remind you of what happened. Let me just break it down and remind you who was the team that won the last cup in Europe? Let's break it down and remember that.
Okay, skill cap DU aren't LE
Okay,
mage.
thank you very much. That's all I needed to know.
They're not. That's a different animal when you say it's skill cap DU LE mage. Like,
I got caught off guard by this kill so bad. I'm excited to go and watch this replay yet again. But dude, this RMP is freaking terrifying. If I was any team in this RMP's bracket, I don't care what comp you're playing, I would be scared. These moments, it doesn't matter what class you're playing unless you have an immunity. That was terrifying damage onto Valido there. And at a moment's notice, it's coming up here. Here it is, kidney, bomb. He knocks him out of the bomb, but too little too late. That's combustion. It's not even in combustion. Oh, he must have purged it off or something.
Mind games.
Oh my
Nature's,
gosh.
so let me check this. I think Valido's running Nature's Guardian. Yeah, so when a shaman dips below 35% health, you instantly heal for 20% of your health. But when Mind Games is on you, it turns all healing into damage. So Valido thought like, oh, Trin could get out of the bomb, but he dipped just low enough that Nature's Guardian triggered, and then Mind Games triggered and just killed him.
I'm going to be honest.
Dude.
That was a beautiful setup from Trust the Process, but equally so, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball on that one, to be honest. I think Valido trinketed way too slow. In that situation, you just cannot let that happen. I mean, he has Smoke Bomb up. They have every single cooldown, literally. That's the only time in the game where it's going to be scary, especially with how Zach was positioned. Any other moment, Zach just dispels Mind Games. Smoke Bomb, react, survive, and I feel like they were looking so good in that game. When you have the RMP just pinned up against the pillar, positioning the way it was, I feel like that was really their game to throw away, and unfortunately they did. But you have to give credit to Trust the Process, bringing that aggression.
We're at match point now, man.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yes. Very, very close from knocking Hamsters and Hares out of the tournament. This is, like we have touched on so many times, this is their first tournament together as a team, and they are having a pretty good start to this already, especially considering how they started the day here. But Hamsters and Hares, they still have a chance coming up here to tie this up in this best of 5 series. It's going to be their map choice, as they did just lose that last game. So they may want to pick something here that's not going to be too good for Trust the Process. I know how some of you guys feel about that composition that they just played, but do we want to see them try that again, D-Machine? On the side of Hamsters and Hares? No?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's that bad. I do think that there was a little bit of like a gimmick there at the end, or like a small mistake that really cost him. Those small mistakes during a Rogue Mage go can cost you your life, as we just saw Valido going down there. But truthfully, we've seen their Warrior Mage all day. They have so many games on it. They are doing so well at it. Roasties looks like he's getting even better every time they queue it on that Warrior role. So honestly, and it looks like that's the meta. 50% of the teams are playing it. I would just get more games in on that composition, because we know it works. But we're gonna have to wait and see. Hamsters and Hares, they're down. Oh, they don't care. I mean, I do respect that though, because like that I feel like that game wasn't real in terms of like really knowing which if it is a good composition into this. And mostly I'm saying that because I want to prove Sid wrong.
Man.
People only hate me because they ain't me. Okay.
Oh, is that what it is? Yo, that knock on that bomb is actually sick though. Like, but I guess it doesn't matter. He was in the bomb. The damage came elsewhere, but that was it was also a dope.
I'm excited to see what this composition can do. I feel like we didn't really get to feel it out too much for that last game. We are going to be going to Empyrean Domain, so it's a little bit of a smaller gap, I guess, when you compare it to Tolvaron. But how do you expect this opener to go, Venrugier? Is Trust the Process going to be able to close it out in the opener, or do you think Hamsters and Hares is going to be able to survive another one with this composition?
They should be able to survive. I mean, when you're a Fire Mage, the thing that's the biggest nightmare, in my mind, the reason why Fire Mage Elemental Shaman is so strong, or one of the reasons it's so strong, is it's really good against other Fire Mages. And Fire Mages are really popular right now. You have Grounding Totem, you have Purge, you have Kleptomania. All of these are really solid answers into the burst that a Fire Mage can put out. So if you just deal with those moments where they're just one-shotting you, and you know, if the Mage is stunned, the Shaman can back him up. If the Shaman's stunned, the Mage can back him up. Nuke has a very difficult job here to actually get out that damage. So I think they can defuse the opener, and it's as good as we saw in that last game. I mean, in the last game, they didn't get anything, and they managed to get the trinket from Calvish right away. I think Hamsters and Hares, they have the right idea here, but Trust the Process. They're going to have to look for these openings and capitalize like we saw in that last game.
Yep, game has started. Here we go. The opener goes on to Zach and the full kidney. This brings me back to when we forced Paladin bubbles and openers in BFA, but it's only going to get the wall, and it looks like Zach's going to be okay. He's not even wings. Hodge goes out onto the priest. Pain suppression is used, dropping down to half. That's a lot of buttons used, as well as the very important trinket, but now full blind onto Zach. They're switching it on to Valito. He's gonna get out of that. He's gonna trinket out of that blind and respect that incoming damage. They aren't going down to a smoke bomb without trinketing yet again, at least not yet. And what an explosive opener for both teams.
All right, now Calvish is going to retreat along with Nuked. Now that the Discipline Priest is going to be a target here for Hamsters and Hares, they've got to be careful on the side of Trust to Process and protect Zayuni. All right, they're just line of sighting at the moment, waiting for their moment to go. Door of Shadows, they're pushing in aggressively. Looks like they want to go after Zach. No, it's stunned into a ring or a fear. They're both lined up together. Valito isolated. Mind control spam here attempt on the trinket as well, or crowd control break attempt. Valito has to trade Astral Shift. That's a big trade. And the trinket before the smoke bomb. They still have crowd control. No tremor for 8 seconds. Valito's down at half health. Zach finally out of crowd control. I would like to see Trust the Process just retreat away. They got everything they needed to. They have the game in the bag. If they can reset Combustion here, they've got Shadow Blade, Shadow Dance, Smoke Bomb, Dark Arc, a full mana Disc Priest. They're on match point. It's just Shadow Step Kidney the Shaman, press every button and walk to Championship Sunday. I think at this point, Zach needs to basically pre-sacrifice. Format goes in for crowd control, gets shut down, a pre-barrier. Stun, where's the follow-up? They need crowd control onto Zach. Do they have a mind control? Anything? They need crowd control right now. Are they going to go for Psychic Scream? Zach is just waiting in the wings. Calvish moving back to the pillar here, attacking Zach a little bit, not making it too obvious. A polymorph into a smoke bomb. I think that's what they want to set up. Maybe on Valito. Why are they not going for the smoke bomb out of the polymorph here? It's perfect positioning. Stun, bomb, win. There's the bomb, but he doesn't stun. He gets knocked out of it. Valito totally owning Trust the Process there. But the polymorph has landed nonetheless, and they're still trying to push through with Combustion. Are they going to trade Sacrifice in time? They managed to purge off Combustion. Calvish now in a stun. They're still trying to power down Valito. Do they have enough damage to force it? Doesn't look like it. And man, I thought for sure he was going to stun out of the poly and bomb. Now Zayuni's in trouble.
That's going to be a trinket.
Nice
that was a nice save there, but at the same time, they got the trinket, and that's really all they could hope for. And now Zayuni, there's no trinket and no pain suppression for another 35 seconds. Could go after her or switch up their targeting here. Valito getting a little bit low. He's got the Astral Shift, and that was the sacrifice from Zach as well. You know, it looks like Hamsters and Hares, they do manage to stabilize. They do hold on, but Trust the Process in a surprising turn of events is actually ahead on mana in this matchup. Zayuni gets caught into a polymorph. Unfortunately, it does break. Zach potentially looking for a drink here if he can find it, but will get punished by getting sapped. Lightning Lasso comes in. There's the full blind. Valito in a lot of trouble. Can they get the mind games? Very important. If Zayuni can connect the mind games, Valito is really scared in this situation. Sap comes in. Great crowd control from the side of Trust the Process as they continue this push on Valito, but looks like he will be able to hold on. Getting a Hex on Nuke. There's going to be no Dispel for that one. And now Hamsters and Hares, they survive the go, and it's their time to get aggressive.
Hodge on to Zuni, or how do you pronounce her name again?
Zayuni.
I always mispronounce Zayuni. Paint suppression is a nice trade to walk away from that. Didn't have to use trinket, but they're swapping it over with a lasso on the rogue. Calvish is in trouble, and Zuni, that's some more mana that she has to spend to keep him alive. And the clock is ticking for this RMP. Here we go. Fear onto Zach. Cheap shot onto Valito. Into another cheap shot. What do they have to follow it up onto Zach is really what I want to see. She looks like she's looking for a mind games, which would be really, really big, but it looks like it's not there yet. And mana is now in favor of Hamsters and Hares as we move further in the game. A very strong opening that looks like it's kind of just dwindling off. There's the blind. No. Into the lasso. No trinket available for 6 more seconds. And that cloak is going to keep him alive for now, but for how much longer? I can't imagine much longer. I mean, this is double wizard, no cloak available. I feel like the next go on either the priest or the rogue could kill him.
I think Shadowy Duel with Mind Games can win the game here. Meteor's about to crack in onto Valito. Big damage. There's the Shadowy Duel. It's a one-on-one between Calvish and Valito, but oh no, the frictionless coding just came off cooldown, shielding Valito, buying time. Now Zach can stabilize. Primordial Wave launched at Calvish. He's ducking for cover. Nuke is left out in midfield. I don't think he wants to be there. Soul Shaping back to the pillar. It's the Lava Burst lobbed in. Absolutely nuked. Is he going to be able to recover back here? Earthquake hitting Zayuni. Zach's trying to go and drink. Calvish gets stunned up in midfield. Blasted down by both spellcasters. Shadow stepping in to the Paladin. I mean, I guess it's do or die at this point. The priest is out of mana. Maybe it's a bait. They're going to try and find an opportunity to drink and just bait with the rogue. He doesn't have anything to get out away from the fight, though. This is a really risky bait. Valido gets bopped out of the stun, knocks Calvish. Calvish trying to retreat back to the pillar with Zayuni. Zach could easily drink in this position, and it looks like he wants to, just standing still on the side. Maybe not. Doesn't want to risk too much. It's not entirely comfortable for Zach here, but spellcasters can attack from range, so damage is not going to stop here from Hamsters and Hares. There's a smoke bomb edging it on floor mat. Ice block. No mana to Mass Dispel, though. Can they capitalize on this? They've at least kept Hamsters and Hares on their toes, but now Calvish, no cloak for 30. He's got Vanish coming up, line of sighting the incoming lightning bolts. They're working with 0 mana. They just got Ice Block, but it costs Smoke Bomb. I don't know if Calvish's cooldowns alone will be enough to power down the mage before Hamsters and Hares can react. I feel like Hamsters and Hares, they've got this.
Ooh, cheap shot on floor mat. This is their final push. Can they take him down? Sacrifice and trinket available for Zach. And floor mat's just safely behind the pillar. Zayuni's still completely tapped on mana. Calvish, though, does have the Cloak of Shadows. He can self-sustain for a little bit of time, and it looks like trust the process. They're comfortable just going back to the pillar. They're getting the cooldowns from floor mat and Zach, but at this point, Hamsters and Hares, they just have to go for it. They are going to be going after Zayuni. There's no cooldowns left. The trinket actually trades, and surprisingly, she does have the paint suppression as well. So in this situation, Zayuni should be able to survive a little bit longer. And now trust the process. They're actually going to be getting aggressive. Calvish still has a Cloak of Shadows. Not going to be feeling too scared. Big damage out of Calvish, though. Cloak of Shadows at 1%. Valido trying to just close out the game. That 12% dampening, but it looks like Zayuni actually sneaking away, potentially going for a drink. Unfortunately, not able to. Totems coming in from Valido, keeping her in combat. And now the Lightning Lasso on Calvish. And it looks like format looking for crowd control. Calvish backing up Zayuni, denying the crowd control. Potential Ring of Frost. Can he find it? Looks like he's trying to... No, it gets interrupted. Trust the process in stealth. Once again, they're trying to get aggressive here, but Hamsters and Hares, they have so many cooldowns to work with. The kidney shot on floor mat. Is there a smoke bomb? Is there a sacrifice?
No way! No way!
Are you kidding? He didn't sacrifice. He sacrifices the seed. They're going to be able to hold on. Look at Nuke. Nuke's in so much trouble.
Dude, he blocked aggressively earlier.
From this floor mat's alive. Hamsters and Hares, they stay in it. They take down Calvish potentially. They drop him. They tie up the series. What is happening right now? Zaki trades it out. Manages to get the sacrifice on the seed, keeping his team in it, and they strike back and tie it up.
2-2, man, that was unreal. This RMP, they feel like they're on the back foot, like, oh, out of mana, it's over. And then all of a sudden, the next go, they can just get, block, cauterize, they force the seed. Crazy stuff. One thing that I want to note is that Valido, he's doing a fantastic job with his lassos. Whenever they start to look like they're catching momentum, whenever they get into a blind, whatever, Valido's always there to just start shoving that lasso and really stop the rogue's momentum completely and really force Zayuni to just dump loads of mana, and it just makes that clock so much faster. And really adds a whole bunch of pressure. But this team, this rogue mage, they make magic happen. Look at that proc onto that seed. I mean, they were hitting Valido for most of this game, and then it wasn't until the last 2 goes they decided to force every cooldown from Hamsters and Hares on the mage. And I can't. That was incredibly close. This is going down to the wire. A game 5, a well-earned game 5, and this brand new team is giving us some incredible games to watch. So happy to watch this new blood.
Yeah, I am as well, D-Machine. It's been very refreshing to see these new faces come in and do this. Well, Hamsters and Hares putting up a good fight. They've now tied up this series here. It's going to be Trust the Process's match point, and it definitely is so close. Something that we saw in the last series that Trust the Process had, we saw that Disc Priest run out of mana so early, but I feel like in that last game when you compared Zach to Zayuni, Zach wasn't really all that far behind in terms of mana when the Disc Priest did run out. They're going to be locking in both of those same compositions. Dalaran Sears is going to be the map that we're going to go to. So this might be a little bit of a different matchup than compared to that last game.
Yeah, a little bit different. I think the main thing here is floor mat kind of just needs to change the way he plays a little bit. It can be very different playing, the warrior mage paladin as opposed to the elemental fire mage paladin. So just going to have to make sure it's basically up to him to stop a lot of the goes, protect Rosie's pre-position away. He's not going to have that backup from the elemental shaman. So he really has to be the one that's denying those big combustions from a nuked when he does end up using them. But yeah, Hamsters and Hares, I feel like they have the compositions. On the small maps, they can use the Warrior Mage. On the big maps, they can use the Elemental Fire Mage. But these games really, it's hard for them to get much closer than this, in all honesty. So it's going to be it's all going to come down to trust the process, finding those offensive windows. And if they can push through all that defense Hamsters and Hares has available, and Hamsters and Hares doesn't respond appropriately, and that's going to be their ticket to success. If Hamsters and Hares plays a bulletproof, solid defense, then I think they're going to be walking away with this one.
All right, last game of the day here. Winner moves forward into the lower bracket to face off on Sunday. It's Trust the Process, Match Point versus Hamsters and Hares.
All right, so last time they opened on Roasties, I nearly had a heart attack because he went down to like 1% health. So I'm just staring at his health bar, waiting for the opener, or honestly just looking at where the rogue is going to open. Because Trust the Process, it seems like when they want to go, their goes are absolutely terrifying. And Hamsters and Hares, we are on match point. This is the last game. The nerves are up. Kidney shot, blind onto Zach. Floor mat seems to be the kill target for now. Can they get the follow-up sap? They do. They sap up Zach, but where is the damage? It seems like
connect. Look at these
hiding.
Vulpin racing each other. Calvin's just trying to catch up to floor mat, but now he's overextended. Oh, gripped out of the meteor. Nice grip by Zayuni. Now Calvish on the run again. Shadow Meld re-stealth. And with that conduit, he gets a shield. So he's not going to get pulled out of stealth from that. Clutching out and stabilizing here. Now they're moving in. Are they going to go Paladin? Zayuni fears Zach. Double Dragon's Breath. Which is going to be the target? Floor mat pre-Blade Storms. I think they want to go on the Warrior. Now looks like the Mage. Premier images have now faded. Big damage incoming. Zach still in a polymorph. Meteor about to connect. Big hit with that Penance as well. Good teamwork between Trust the Process here. They need to keep the chain going. One more poly. Not enough damage as Roasties intercepts with Intimidating Shout. The crowd control has now subsided. Calvish caught into a stun. Spear Bastion pins him down. Roasties is going to town. One more point on the board, and that team will advance. The last game of the day, and it comes down to game 5.
Yeah, cheap shot on Zach. Warbanner drops down. Can they kill it off? Dragon's Breath comes in. Floor mat deflecting the attack is a blessing and protection that comes in from him. Getting a polymorphed here onto Nuked. And Calvish realizes, okay, this go is over. I need to just go for a re-stealth. And Roasties is saying, you know what? That's not going to happen. He pushes in. Gets a lot of damage. A Stormbolt here on Calvish. He has Trinket. He has Cloak of Chalice. He has Evasion. What? He has the tools to survive, greeting it out just a little bit, getting low. Blinding Light comes in. The crowd control never ending here from Hamsters and Hares. Zayuni forced to trade her Trinket in that exchange, keep Calvish alive, but now they're counterattacking. A beautiful fear. Cheap shot onto floor mat. A huge Triune barrier, that massive absorb, and the sacrifice from Zach will keep them in this fight. And Calvish is going to have to be a little bit scared here. He has a Cloak of Shadows, but not too much to deal with the damage coming in from Roasties.
Can't believe he held on to that Trinket. Is this going to be it now? Nope. The healer with the rogue behind the pillar is going to keep him A-okay. No CC just yet. But that cross CC go, that got a lot. They got Trinket sack for that. That was big. Smoke Bomb gets dropped, but not a lot happening with it. Well, it looks like, are they going on Zach? Nope, just cheap shot. Can they get the follow-up polymorph? They do. Full polymorph lands. Mind control on the Roasties format all alone, but he is gone again, running around. He's like, nope. I can see what you're trying to do. Your cross CC might be gnarly, but I am a sneaky fox. And they're swapping the damage over out onto the rogue. He still has that Trinket. He's holding onto it this whole game. The priest desperately trying to keep it up. Here's the go. Blind onto Zach. Poly onto Roasties. Format all alone. Is this his block? He trades it.
Master Spell.
He needed to. Master Spell. Does he get it up? Nope. It gets feared. But the Blades is still up. This rogue is still doing huge damage. Polymorph lands onto Zach. The CS onto Format. He's at half health, but the rogue cannot reconnect. Instead, he goes for a re and gets ready for the next go when the DRs drop. Nuke now has to be careful that he is the focus for Roasties, but I feel like Hamsters and Hares, they don't have a whole lot of buttons for the next go.
Oh, Calvish trinketing aggressively here, gets dispelled out of the blinding light. Kidney shot, mind control the warrior to stop the intervene. That's their war banner now. Floormat in a lot of trouble here. How are they going to respond? There's no sacrifice. Triple Dragon's Breath. Floormat's desperate. Tries to trade out the barriers, but a psychic scream for follow-up. The crowd control is endless. Roasties drops in a rallying cry. Now Spear of Bastion, Stormbolt, but he walks into a Ring of Frost on his Stormbolt. He can't hit Calvish. Calvish now with Pain Suppression prior to the poly is looking durable here as Zayuni comes out of polymorph. Nuke is taking a ton of damage, but so is Floor Mat. Mana is looking dicey on the side of Trust the Process. They need to get a kill soon. Zach is on the run. They're trying to just pull away. Mind Games attempt here. We see the Vulpin shapeshift away from the fight. Calvish wants to get a re-stealth. No smoke bomb, but they have Combustion. I think Nuke's Combustion here needs to win the game. Where can they put it that they'll be able to win? I think it has to be on the Floor Mat. They need to just do an overwhelming amount of damage and crush that Wild Seed afterwards. Calvish moves up onto Zach, waiting for him to go in line of sight before cheap shotting for Nuke. I think there's the cheap shot. Nuke sets up with the poly, gets counterspelled. Is there a Ring of Frost? Ring of Frost, but it's too slow. He's not going to land it. Zach's right on top of Nuke now. Stun on the Calvish, slowing down the assault. Zuni's in a full poly. That could just be it. It's match point stunned again, but it pre-faint is keeping Calvish alive at 20% health. Shadow stepping, but charge connects. Evasion Cloak on 10%. Is he going to be able to hold on? Triple intimidating shot. That's it. Braum comes in with the laser. Kyrian Robot God will net the kill. Hamsters and Hares 3-2.
That was really nicely done there by Rocies at the end, really setting up his team. It was a moment where Calvish had the Cloak of Shadows, he had the evasion up, but Rocies, I'm sure, as a rogue main, he's found themselves in that situation. He got caught to an intimidating shout, and that's where the execute landed through all that, immunity to damage. And Hamsters and Hares, they managed to do it. They hold on, but you really have to give a lot of credit to this newcomer team. Trust the process. They did an incredible job. 3-player roster, and they definitely gave Hamsters and Hares a run for their money in this one.
Absolutely. I want to see this team